Here's why I broke my own midterm rental walkthrough rule today. And here's why you should too, only when appropriate and with the ability to assess every situation on a case-by-case basis. Now, keep in mind that not all things in situations and contracts are created equal, and not all circumstances will be the same. So keep in mind that when you are consuming content on this page and I provide a lot of best practices, keep in mind that sometimes you need to make a business decision and call what we call in football an audible. That's right. An audible is something that's not planned, that you got to come up with on the fly based on what you've assessed is happening on the field, literally. So what had happened was, typically, to give a little bit of context, in the midterm rental insurance environment, what happens is a family is displaced due to an unforeseen event. Now, if you're currently getting value from watching this video, you'll want to make sure you take a second and click below to grab the midterm rental insurance blueprint to help accelerate your process in being able to land these midterm rental insurance contracts with respect to your marketplace. Make sure you click the button below and grab it and continue on with the gems in this video. Could be a storm, could be construction, could be water damage, could be a fire. In this case, it was fire. So keep in mind that when a family is displaced, it needs to go through a sequence of events. That is very typical. They're not always going to be this way, but it is very typical. Now, typically, a relocation specialist will reach out to a homeowner or homeowners like ourselves. They'll see if we have anything available to house this family. Now, because we had a relationship, reached out, I said, we do have something. And typically they said they'll need something now, ASAP. And typically we'll say we have something ASAP. However, does that mean that if you're looking to relocate for the next 6 months that you can't have some wiggle room to have them move in the next week after? Of course you can. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what we did because we wanted to honor one of our short-term rental bookings for a week. So when we say we're available, one of the things that happens is typically we name our price, which is AKA the proposal, where we name our daily fees, our daily rate, our cleaning fees, our periodic, sometimes there's monthly pet fees, sometimes a security deposit, which there always is, not sometimes, there's additional fees. So we name all that up front and we submit it. We don't submit it, we provide it to the relocation specialist. The relocation specialist takes that proposal and submits it to the insurance company. Keep in mind, this is a relocation specialist that works on behalf of the temporary relocation agency that then reports back to the insurance company, like the State Farms and All States and the Farmers of the world. And the insurance adjuster in that position of power, I've always wanted to do this, right? They'll go ahead, they'll be here, and they'll come into their office, they'll turn around and they'll say approved or disapproved, right? And so once they make that executive decision, which we all depend on, and we get that approval, we're half jumping in the air with excitement. Why? Because it means that we're one step closer. Now, the next step is that we must schedule a walkthrough for them to see the actual property. Now, I never, ever, ever, from experience, let them walk the property alone. Why? The reason I don't is because you really want to sell them. Once it's really been approved, you do not want someone to just go in and have a negative experience because they don't know how to work the smart locks and they can't get in, and you're still selling. So you need to have someone there. We like to hire our agent that will open up the door for them. You can have a door opener, you can have a cleaner do this, anyone who's on site to set the scene. Maybe put a candle on or put all the lights on. The candle is a little bit excessive, but make sure all the lights are on so that it's presentable. It's like literally an open house. It's a walkthrough for them, exclusive concierge, door-to-door service. Literally, we're there early, 10 minutes early. They show up in the driveway and we walk them through, and then we do one of two things. We communicate. Communication is very important. Communication is a two-way street. Communication is 90% listen, 10% talk. 90% listen. Is this everything okay? Is this what you're looking for, etc.? You can also ask questions. What is it they're looking for? Or give a little bit of background, a sense of urgency, what's going on. Typically, I just give the agent the details to just hear for any feedback that they may need. If they say we need new dressers, if they say we need more storage, if they say that they would love to have an extra TV, or they see that they didn't have a grill, we want to make sure we're on site to educate them that these are not deal breakers, because the last thing you want is someone to walk the property and have them say, you know what, it was a nice property, but unfortunately, because they didn't have a grill, I think we want to go with the house next door that did have a grill. First of all, most of the houses next door should not be in competition with you, because you're the only one that's available, pet friendly, and are willing to make these changes for them and giving that red carpet service. That, by the way, if there was two identical properties and one had that concierge level of service, they would probably lean towards the person that like genuinely cared and walked them through it and had them heard through their concerns and asked them if there was anything else that they needed in order to make them make it an accommodable stay for them. That's the level of kind of detailed hand holding that we want to offer to these individuals. So it's very critical that we're in a position to hear these things out in person. And then most importantly, the important thing you want to do during sales is, because we're in a position to receive inquiries, because we're in a position where we have a duplicate listing, where we do still accept short-term rental bookings, we want to let the record show that this property does frequently get booked, and it gets booked very quickly. If you are interested, please let me know today, because as soon as you drive away from this driveway, this home that you're standing in, this home that you're interested in, this home that you see is very beautiful, may not be available for you unless you give us your verbal. Once we get a verbal commitment, we automatically want them to contact their relocation specialist. We're going to do the same, and we're going to start drafting a contract really quickly. This level of urgency can only be done once you're in person, to make sure that they understand that there is a risk from them walking away and saying, we'll think about it later. No, we need a commitment now. And that is the level of, after you've given all this level of care and attention, you can then go back in real time and tell them, is there anything I need else to address? We'll make sure that that's included in the contract, etc. And by the way, is there any reason why you wouldn't be able to move forward with this and make a decision today? If so, I need to know, because I have tons of other families that may be interested. On a day-to-day basis, we get requests. That is the level of urgency and feedback. Now, I broke this rule today because there was some miscommunication with the agent, and she ended up being on site. Now, it was going to take another hour for my agent to show up. And again, it was not our fault on our end, just a tenant. Again, a lot of different situations going on. People are having fires. There's a lot of miscommunication that can happen. She was not able to confirm. She assumed that she was going to be there, no problem. So now we're in a position where either wait to have someone go back out there and meet her and possibly even ruin the experience, or unplanned event, tickling throat, or we go ahead and say, because we have smart locks, because we're able to see, we have smart homes with cameras, we're able to see her, that she's there, we've been talking on the phone, we said, let's do a walkthrough over the phone. And so what we did was unlock the front door. We're talking, walking her through the home. When you turn right, this is what you find. And you know what we heard on the other side? Wow. This home is beautiful. Wow. Walked her through the entire home virtually. And as a matter of fact, it's almost as if we were her ear pierced. We're in her ear, speaking through all the entire homes, you know, the amenities we had to offer, etc. And it was still an experience where they did not walk the home alone, right? So while I do say that I broke my own rule, if anything, we took it to a whole nother level, because while it is good to have a person there, we were still with her virtually, walking her through the home and helping her get that door-to-door experience. We literally unlocked the door for her on our phones and give her that experience. Now, it's not something I typically would recommend, because I do think there's a pizzazz, there's something special about having someone there on site, but it's just to show you the importance of being able to call an audible and still give a white glove experience to someone that needs it and be able to ask, hear her feedback. All her feedback was amazing on the phone, so we knew we were good. But if there had been any other concerns, where she was at one point, she was on the other side of home. She's like, I don't see the bunk beds. I'm like, it's gonna be on the other side. You must have gone on the other side, no problem. Having someone there, it might seem like a little piece of detail, but it goes a long way when you're trying to close on a premium contract, premium product. You want to make sure you have a nice high touch approach, because remember, you get paid in proportion to the problems that you solve. And then then by being there on site, we were able to secure a 6-month lucrative contract, which is going to be 100% occupied for the next 6 months. Make sure that you follow the principles and guidelines needed to be able to secure these deals time and time again in your marketplace. If you got value from this video, make sure you click the video of why you should let potential tenants walk through the property before booking with